Yeah.
Can you turn me up a little bit? Just move me up a little bit. 1, 2, 1, 2. There. What's your friend coming in at?
That's Frank. That's number 2.
Okay, just when he gets on, he did mic check. We are on in about a minute.
Cool. I'm gonna do a mic check here, Frank. Microphone checker.
Can you please hurry? Because we got like very little time.
Mic check. Yo.
He's on, his mic's not right on.
Can you hear me?
Nope, you're not.
Is that 3?
I think he's on 4. Okay, we're kind of starting right now.
All right, go ahead. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties because I am a moron.
When the normal BS just won't do. ChaoticRadio.com.
Alrighty. Welcome back. It is part 2 with Being Frank with Franklin Benjamin. I do want to welcome Frank, number 2. If you give us just 2 seconds here, I got to fix his microphone here for me.
Is it fixed? Oh, there we go.
There we go.
You found it.
I did find it. I think I found it.
We're good.
We are good.
Thumbs up.
See, every time he walks in here, earlier he had to do that. He walked in here, and then I figured it out. I just like to watch him. I don't like to watch him get up and walk. I'm just saying I just like to have people get up and do things for no reason, evidently. So anyway, we are back here. So what we were talking about, Frank, while you were not here, is just how brainwashed America is with all the media and all the bullshit going on, and how people like to stand out in a crowd. And what I mean by that is they like to stand out, but not by themselves. They want to stand out with everybody around them. Point in case is being a protester that likes to wear a mask. If you're standing up for what you believe in so bad, why do you have to wear a mask and hide your identity?
Yeah, I think everyone wants to be part of the show. They're trying to be part of something. There's very few original ideas out there. It's kind of follow the crowd mentality of America now.
Like, what do you think about people being fired, like the Charlottesville riots or those people that were fired for attending? Do you believe that I think that was bullshit.
I think that the company can do what the hell they want to do. I don't feel bad per se, but if they want to put themselves out there and believe in what they believe in, then they have to accept the consequences of those actions, and whether their company likes it or doesn't.
Well, this is my bitch about it, and I'm not supporting them by no means, because I believe it was bullshit riot anyway.
Understood.
But what I mean is by the double standard is, we're supposed to be able to say what we want to say because we're voicing our opinion, but they can't say what they want to say because they're saying something that's different from our views.
No, they can say whatever they want to say.
Then why are they fired for being at the protests?
Because people didn't like it enough to tell their bosses, and their bosses were able to fire them. The First Amendment only gives us the right for the government not to persecute us for this, not private businesses.
Yeah, sole proprietors.
Right.
So
okay.
if they worked for, if those people who worked for positions, like if they were government officials or they were working in a government building or something like that, then we can't fire them for anything, because that's not, the government doesn't have the right to say, no, you can't do this. But if it's somebody's private business and they think, okay, I don't like the idea of my guy, whether it is protesting Black Lives Matter or whatever, they can fire him. As far as I'm concerned, go right ahead. That's your business. You run it how you want to run it.
I believe that if it's going to be that, then you have to put that, like, as far as a business owner, like, I'm not going to not tell somebody something and then be like, oh, well, hey, that's against the rules. You're fired now.
Well, is it in the employee handbook? I mean, certain things they can fire you over.
Yeah, as long as it's written down. Because, like I said, I think it's bullshit because I don't know if they've had these policies in place or not. So if the company had it saying, hey, you're at the eye of the, you're vision of the company or whatever, the
You're
poster child.
You're representing
You're
us in some way.
Yes, if that's the word I was looking for. You're a representative of the company. Then I could kind of see that. Like I can see why Colin Kaepernick was chastised as much as he was.
And that's why I'm so okay with him not having a job right now.
I am
because
too.
guess what? Those are all people who have a choice of who they want to pay money to. If they don't like what you believe, you don't have to go there. So that's he put himself in a position not to have a job for what he believes in. More power to him.
But here's a question I have about that, and I hate Colin Kaepernick. If I ever see him, I'll punch him in his face, just because of what the outcry that he did about the cops and the police and the violence that he incited. Like, I will punch Kaepernick in the mouth if and whenever I see him. But I don't believe that he should have been fired and chastised for what he believed in, because 99% of the NFL is doing the exact same thing, and now everybody's okay with it. It's like, if a few people say something, then let's have a bitch about it. But once everybody else jumps on board, it's not that big of a deal anymore.
You mean 99% of the NFL are protesting right now? Or
well, 99? They did. No, 99% did protest.
No, actually, it was 40 guys have taken a knee so far.
Well, but I mean, every team was...
Somebody on every team did.
That's what I mean by that. And
okay.
Thank you for trying to make me clarify that. Nobody does that.
Here to help you.
Nobody does that. If you don't understand, like, that's the thing about communication. If somebody's saying something and you don't fully comprehend what the fuck they're talking about, stop and ask them, well, what exactly do you mean? Like, because I could say, man, I hate when I walk outside and my shoes get wet. Somebody will go outside and be like, that motherfucker hates the rain. That's not what I said.
No.
It's not what I said. So when somebody's like, hey, I'm tired of police brutality. Okay, cool, me too. What exactly about police brutality are you tired of? Because you can't say it like, I'm tired of murders. Cool, you're supposed to be against murders. It's not like, I'm done with eating salt. You know what I mean? Like, what are you done with eating? Like, what the fuck? You can't generalize shit like that. So if people would just go in and say, okay, well, what do you mean by you're tired of police brutality? Well, I'm tired of the police not telling us what's going on, yanking people out of cars, pulling people over for no reason. Well, now you got to go into pulling people over for no reason. I'm pretty sure 99% of the people that were pulled over had some type of infraction. Maybe they weren't doing anything illegal inside of the car or driving illegally, but they could have had a broken tail light, tinted windows, anything like that. It is our obligation to know the rules in which the society we live. If you're playing a football game, it's your obligation to know the rules in which are played in that football game. If you break the rules, you're not given a warning. You're fucking penalized, are you not?
You are.
Okay. In the game of life, you are required to follow a set number of rules that were put in place. It's your responsibility to know those rules. If you do not know those rules, it's your responsibility to ask those rules. If you break those rules, you cannot blame anybody for getting in trouble. If you are carrying a pistol, if you're a convicted felon, you're walking down the street, but you have a firearm on you. You know you're in the wrong. You know that you could get in trouble for that. But when the cop stops you and just asks you what you're doing, now it's the cop's fault because he's putting you in a position to take you to jail. No, he's not. You shouldn't have the fucking gun on you. Should they stop you and talk to you for no reason? No, but shit happens. They are doing their job. You know, as a productive member of society, you're not to have a concealed firearm without a license. So if you break that law, you go to jail, period. If you drink and get behind the wheel of a car, it's against the law. I had gotten arrested for 2 DUIs. I don't believe that I was impaired, but it's against the law. You take your fucking punishment and go on. You don't bitch about it. The cop didn't make me drink and get in the car. I did that. So anybody that gets fucked up on some bullshit and then blames the other person is a coward and a cunt. Just no other way to put it. You're a coward and a cunt if you blame other people for your fuck-ups. Everything that you do in life is self-inflicted. You get your girlfriend pregnant and fuck up your dreams of becoming a hip-hop artist or whatever these fucking guys dream about now. That's your doing. That's not her. She didn't fucking get pregnant on purpose. You stuck your dick in her. You knew what the fucking consequences could be. That's your shit. Own up to it. Put your dreams to the side and think about that little life you created. I didn't do that when I was a kid. I didn't have this mentality. And it pisses me off because I've got 3 kids out there that don't know their real dad, and now I'm this big piece of shit, and I feel like shit every day that I kiss my other kids because I didn't do that for my other kids that I had, before, because I wasn't ready to have children. I'm still not ready to have children. I need to be a single guy doing what the fuck I want to do whenever I want to do it.
Like me.
But I can't.
Like me.
Yeah.
But I can't be because I made the decision to have children and have a wife. So I can't do the things that I want to do. I have to do the things that I have to do so my kids can do what they want to do. That's my responsibility as a human being. If you create a life, you need to make their life better than the one you lived. That doesn't mean buy them all this fancy shit when they're kids and buy them all the Jordans and nice clothes. Have stability. When I first started making money, when I first had my businesses, I was bringing in so much fucking money, I didn't know what to do with it. I was buying new cars and all kinds of shit. I didn't save a fucking dime of it. I gambled over $3 million away in Vegas. I don't have anywhere near that now. I'm not making anywhere near what I did make. And I feel like shit about it because my kids could already had a college fund and all kinds of shit from all the cars I had. I had 4 fucking cars and I was the only person that drove. 4 brand new BMWs for no reason. So I know about overexpending and living beyond your means because I've done it. I've went from homeless to having $100,000 in the bank. I've done it back and forth, done a 360 3 or 4 fucking times. So I don't talk about things that I don't know about.
But shit, I mean, no one ever showed you how to manage money. That's the one thing, like everyone wants to get money and I'm going to be set when I make it, buy cars and this is what I need to do to be happy. But, like you just said, you had it and you lost it. So you're not happy because you lost it. But if you had the knowledge of how to manage money, they should teach this in school.
Yeah, they should.
This is terrible, It's sad.
This is what it is. Nobody wants to make a bunch of money. That's not what people want nowadays. Nobody wants to make a bunch of money. They want to have a rap star lifestyle or a rock star lifestyle. They want the MTV cribs because that's what I wanted. Like, I just recently moved back to California last year, and 6 months after I got here, I bought a house or whatever, and I'm already trying to move to fucking Newport Beach. I'm trying to save up. Now, listen, you sitting down to this? I'm trying to save up $7 million, okay? I'm going to save this up and just buy a house in Newport Beach and be okay. Just going to save up $7 million because I just purchased a $500,000 house. I'm not thinking about paying my fucking property taxes next year or paying the goddamn electric for the fucking house that's there. I'm just going to save up $7 million because I seen it on TV. You can't do that. I've got the nicest house I'll ever fucking own, and every single day that I wake up, I risk losing it because I don't have stable income. I don't have a job or a career that somebody is giving me a salary for. Every single dime that I make is money that I've hustled up.
Yeah, but you have experience, and that's duplicatable. You can share and tell other. That's the one thing I don't understand. Like, nothing against you, you've made it, but how come all these self-proclaimed millionaires aren't showing people how they do it?
Because they're too busy fucking making their money.
Oh,
you've got Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins has never started a business besides motivational speaking. He's never ran a business besides motivational speaking. He started with that fucking dude that he was his mentor.
Kiyosaki.
No, that's Robert Kiyosaki's just another author. He didn't start with him. He started. He maybe did. I don't know who he started. He started with somebody as a mentor. He was his mentor or whatever, and he learned sales. If you listen to anything Tony Robbins says,
Zig Ziglar.
I was getting ready to say that, Uncle Ziggy. I hung out with Zig so many times. I was super close with Zig through the car business. I used to be in car sales, and I had the opportunity to meet him in Richmond, Indiana, way back, and
way back,
way the fuck back, and we became friends. And he kind of mentored me a little bit. But everything that Tony says is something that Zig had taught me, or taught everybody. And it has nothing to do with business and everything to do with sales. Tony Robbins couldn't build a business with Legos. Tony Robbins is a liar and a thief and a fucking con artist. And I dare Tony Robbins to call me and tell me different. I could debate Tony Robbins on business and on ethics and on how to do things the right way, the wrong way, sideways, upside down, and run circles around that tall, dark voice or deep-voiced piece of shit. All he does is just take money from people and voice out his opinion and tear down people. That's why you have so many failed businesses. You have so many people on Facebook that do MLM, the multi-level marketing, like Amway or fucking
Clickster.
Yeah, everything. And they make a little bit of money and get up to a certain tier, and they start making a couple $1,000s a month, and all of a sudden they're an entrepreneur, and they want to fucking start telling the world how to make it. He wasn't a good friend of mine. We were not close, but we chatted and had intelligent conversations, and I respect him as a person and as a business person. He's got a lot of drive, but he's not all bright. He doesn't have all the tools to be an entrepreneur. He's just a salesperson. He goes door to door selling fucking water machines or whatever. And he started a little company, and then he was doing these motivational speaking fucking things on Facebook and just posting shit like, oh, who's out and about? Let's meet up and brainstorm. Like, brainstorm about what? Well, anything. Like, you can't do that. You can't just go meet up with somebody and just start talking about whatever pops up and give them advice. I can't go meet up with a dog groomer and tell a dog groomer how to grow his business and get more clients. I don't know dick about fucking dog grooming.
Maybe that's why a lot of businesses fail. They're getting advice from people who've never had a business.
You don't take advice from somebody you won't trade places with.
There you go.
If you're not willing to trade places with the person talking to you, tell them to shut the fuck up. You should be telling them. Period. If people would take that into consideration, life would be a lot easier. You got people that never had a pot to piss in trying to tell you how fucked up your life is. Who the fuck are you talking to?
Yeah, we were talking about it outside. I think before I got here, you guys were talking about businesses and how people don't have a plan. You know, they're just like, I want to start a business. But, you know, to be successful, you have to have a system. And, you know, it seems like people are watching these videos online, maybe seeing a Tony Robbins video and saying, yeah, I'm going to go be an entrepreneur. But, you know, what comes with it is a lot of pain and struggle, you know, and most people can't hang. People can't get through it. You know, once they're about to be successful, they don't have the drive to keep pushing forward.
Here's what a big problem is the word successful. Successful has so many different meanings. Like, I go paycheck to paycheck every single month. Every single month. I'm paycheck to paycheck. When I first started working, I was paycheck to paycheck. $250 a week when I got my check. I was like, fuck yeah. $7.25 an hour. And then I ended up, and that was overtime and shit, and then I ended up getting my raise when I was a supervisor for $10 an hour. Boy, I was fucking killing it with $10 an hour. And you can't, sorry, I just spaced out for a second.
Well, it was like, what you're saying is having a steady income, $10 an hour. If you made $10 an hour, 24 hours a day, you'd be balling right now.
Right. Well, when you're living paycheck to paycheck, it doesn't matter if you're living paycheck to paycheck from a $400 paycheck or a $10,000 paycheck. It's still paycheck to paycheck. You're still going to lose your place to live, your things to drive, your food to eat, your electricity.
You're not managing your money well. It doesn't matter if it's how much it is. If you can't manage it well when you have little, you're not going to manage it well when you have a lot.
Exactly. This is point blank. I didn't grow up with a bunch of money. I wasn't force-fed a bunch of money. I didn't grow up with a bunch of nice shit. I didn't do without or anything. I didn't grow up poor, dirt poor or anything, but I didn't do without or whatnot, but I didn't have a whole lot. But when I started making money, I wanted everybody to know that I had money. So I'm going to drive a nice car. I'm going to wear nice clothes, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to spend my money because I want you to know that I fucking got it.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And that's what 99% of people do. That's why you see these rappers, these 20-year-old rappers with these fucking 95 feet gold chains on at $25 million and shit. In 10 or 15 years when their rap career is over, I mean, look at DMX. DMX ain't got no fucking money. Ja Rule ain't got no goddamn money. He lives in another country now. Mace was a fucking really good hip-hop artist before. He's a pastor now, ain't got no money. You can't go out and blow your money. You need to stack up. You need to worry about what's going on later in life. So the people that piss me off are the people that lose their job and go out to the liquor store and grab up a 40 or whatever and then complain about shit. Don't go to the liquor store and spend the $40 that you ain't making next week because you lost your job. Go to the fucking unemployment agency and get a new job. Or go to your neighbor and say, hey, man, do you have anything I can do around the house? I'm a business owner, and as a business owner, there's some times where you don't make a paycheck because you have overhead and shit. You got shit you got to pay for. Just because your business makes money doesn't mean that you do as an owner. So there's been times where I've went 3 or 4 months without a paycheck, and I'm over here working at somebody else's business to make a paycheck. And they're dumbfounded. They're like, well, why aren't you at your business? Because I can't go to my business and work my business and take away money from my employees because I'm hurting. That's bullshit. I got to go figure my shit out. I can't go in there and make the people that are depending on that money to live, I can't go in there and try to stifle that away. It's not right.
Oh man, I lived through that with the last company. That's kind of how I met you. You know, those guys they used to make millions. We're not going to say any names, but they made millions of dollars. But, you know, just like you, they didn't know how to manage their money. They got a little out of control, started partying. And then you know, they were still running their business, but living well above their means. So they were taking money out of our checks. I don't know how many times my check bounced where I said, what is going on?
You cannot do that. You have to have, I'm super big on responsibility. If we do not teach responsibility to people, like my kids, I tell my kids all the time, they have a playroom in my house. It's a whole fucking bedroom just for their toys, just for them to play in. It's to have a walkway in it at all times. If I go in and step on a toy in the doorway, they lose that toy. Well, I would tell them a couple of times, and it would still be toys there, and then when I would grab them and throw them away, they would start learning. If you start hitting people start taking shit away from them, start taking their money away. And what I mean by that is show people responsibility, like my employees. My employees don't do their job. They don't get paid, period. I'm not going to pick up the slack for them because if I pick up an inch, they're going to try to lay down a mile, and I'm not going to do it. If you don't, I pull my own weight. You got to pull yours. So I do that by example. I'm not going to go in and work my business, fire somebody so I can go in and make my money because I'm stupid and can't manage my money. As a business owner, I shouldn't have a business and need to have money from it and have to fire somebody or do detriment to my business just to make a paycheck. If I don't have money out from my company, I need to go make my money somewhere else to make money for my company so my company can make more money. You got to have your money work for you. You can't be working for your money. And that's where people fuck up, is they want to go in and work for their money, and then they want to lay back like their money's working for them. So they go to work, they do their 9 to 5, and then they go party like they're continuously making money. And it doesn't work that way. If you're on the clock and you clock out, your money stops until you clock back in. Being an entrepreneur, you never clock out. I could be in Vegas right now. I'd be in Vegas right now, partying my ass off. Tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock, my phone rings. I got to be able to answer that motherfucker or I ain't going to make no money. So I can't be hungover and fucked up. So you get so many entrepreneurs that they open up a business and their first or second week in business, they're out partying, celebrating. What the fuck are you celebrating?
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, I know one thing. I know for a fact there is nobody that starts a business right now that started a business before and had it fail, that starts a business and goes and parties a week or two after it's been open. Because they know that you're not getting a pay raise when you open up a business. You're taking a pay cut for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And you're putting everything that you own everything that you have at risk every single day. But then when you have employees that look at you and see what you have and are envious, they want to take that from you or get what you got without putting in the work that you put in, and then they want to be pissed at you when they can't get it. Nobody can have what I have because nobody is wired the way that I'm wired.
It takes a while to get wired that way. I mean, I was an employee. I was an employee. I'm still an employee, but I broke into the whole entrepreneurial spirit, and I dived in, lost my job, my 9 to 5, and worked on my business. Little by little, I started to make it, and I reached a point where I'm like, all right, well, I'm making my paycheck. I was making what I was making working for a company, but then something went wrong. I lost a deal, lost about 4 G's on a job. But that's the pain, that's the struggle that comes with the territory. But I freaked out. I jumped back into the employee mentality. But now I'm still breaking my way out. That's why I'm doing these side jobs.
Well, that's a different thing though. You're not back into the employee mindset just because you get a job. So this is the thing. You cannot start a business. So we're getting from politics into fucking business now. You see how crazy we are when we jump around?
Awesome.
So with business, you can't start a business with no backup. You got to have a reserve. You need at least 3 to 6 months reserve. And what I mean by reserve is not personal reserve. You need reserve to function for the business. So you need to calculate your rent and all your overhead expenses. Overhead expenses being your light bill, your water bill, your anything, internet, anything. And you need to calculate that, how much that's going to cost each month, times that by 3 or 6, and make sure you have that amount liquid cash in your bank. If you do not have that, you do not open up a business. If you have $100,000 in the bank and it requires you to have $115,000, if you start that business with $100,000, you're about 90% chance you're going to fail. You can't. So what you do on that aspect of it is you work, and then you hustle.
Right.
So like you want to open up a trucking business. You don't just buy a warehouse and a bunch of trucks and hire a bunch of fucking people and hope you make some money. You get your truck first. You have your job. And then you be your own employee until you making enough money to quit your job from your business. Once you're paying yourself good enough, now you can get enough work to have somebody else come on because you're going to have to replace yourself to grow your business.
Right.
So this is how I did it. You get a job, you work that job, you don't have any fucking life, and you do your side hustle until you build it up enough from where you're so exhausted you can't see straight. You need sleep so fucking bad, your eyes are burning. And you fucking go more. And when you fucking feel like you can't go any further, you take 3 or 4 more steps. You can't sit down and rest, and you cannot turn back. Once you stop, you lose that momentum, and you're fucked. You're gonna have valleys and peaks. Once you get up on that peak, you cannot lose your footing to slide back down. And once you do get down in that valley, you have to make sure you strap up and anchor down and climb your way back up to the peak. You can't stay down in the valley. That's the problem with a lot of entrepreneurs is they're not wired in the way where you can take that hit and keep moving forward. A lot of people get punched in the mouth, they fall down, the fight's over. You can't be that way when it comes to a business because nobody gives a fuck.
Hey, you said it's momentum, and I mean, I understand that's what happens. A lot of businesses that fail, they lose momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
momentum is huge. I don't know how many times I've had, with my industry, you'll have a great day, and then the next day it's fucking shit. So then you have bad 3 or 4 days. Then you'll have a good day and then a bad 3 or 4 days. People don't know how to set goals for themselves to have them move forward progressively. They set these long-term goals that are so unattainable that it breaks their spirit, and then they want to start blaming things. Like, I want a Ferrari. Well, motherfucker, you need to graduate high school first, okay? So before you get a Ferrari, how about you get a job? You know, I want the latest phone. Get you a latest job. You can't just look at somebody and be like, well, that's a nice bag. I think I'm going to get one of those too. And then you go to your bank account and you got $5. You can't be like, well, why does he have that and I don't? Because he's worked for that. Everything is hard work. People are lazy right now. Oh, yeah. Convenience is everything. Remote controls. I don't know how many times I've watched this TV station because I couldn't find the fucking remote control. I've watched infomercials. I'm a Food Network addict now because I couldn't find the fucking remote control. I got addicted to Chopped.
Wow. Look at this Uber Eats thing, though. I mean, talking about people getting lazy. I mean, you can't even drive down the street to get your own food
Eats,
now.
Postmates, DoorDash. Yeah, I know them all.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It stops interaction.
It is so horrible. I remember I did DoorDash once. I won't ever do it again. I was able to get a pastrami and chili fries delivered to my house and not a change pants. That's horrible for life. That's a bad life choice right there.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like we are so inconvenienced by the most minute things. Like we are so reclusive and so seclusive that we would rather have a stranger grab our edibles than to us go out and get it and interact with humans. Like I am super antisocial because I hate the human race, because we are the only species on this planet that kills and hurts each other for no apparent reason. We don't eat each other. So when we kill somebody, we just kill them and leave them there. So we're not killing them for food. We have no reason to be violent towards one another because we don't eat each other. So why are we continuously killing each other and at each other's throats? We're the only species that kill each other for no fucking reason.
I don't know. We're wired or programmed this way through
TV
history. I mean, TV, yeah, violence. It's possible. I mean, it's.
Well, here's a crazy thing. Here's a crazy thing that I didn't know about this either. The American Indians. Did you know that they murdered and slaughtered each other all over the place? You know how like they want to blame the white man for coming over and stealing their land when they were stealing each other's land for hundreds of years. When they got here, when Christopher Columbus and all them got here, like they had already been killing each other, trying to steal each other. Everybody's been stealing land for forever. So if people would stop separating our race, our species, not our race, but our species from other species, and just come to terms that we're all animals, survival of the fittest. There's people at the top of the food chain. There's people at the bottom.
Yeah, it's like, all right, like lions when they come
in. Same analogy.
Yeah, they come into a pride. I mean, we're mammals, dude.
I mean, Mises.
Mises.
Get a whole bunch of Mises together. It's crazy. But, well, I mean, you take a sickly lion, he's not going to be leader of the pack. He knows he's not going to be leader of the pack. So when you have a mentally retarded motherfucker, you know that they're not going to be like super high up. So you know that's going to be Skeeter riding around in the tow truck or whatever. If people could just be happy with who they are, back in the 40s and the 50s, people were happy with who they were. The dude that was a janitor loved the fact that he was the fucking janitor and wanted his son to grow up to be a janitor. Where did we go through life and start saying that different industries are degrading? Oh, if you're a janitor, you're a poor piece of shit. Oh, if you're this or that.
I don't know. How about, what do the Kardashians do? They get paid to have a reality show.
Well, this is where I'm talking about with America. America makes stupid people famous because we love to watch train wrecks. We don't put anything good on the news. So here, America, this is how we are going to change the views of society and how we're going to change society. Stop watching TV 24/7. Stop hitting the share button on Facebook, and start conversing instead of arguing. Start listening to learn instead of listening to react. Somebody will say, well, I like that President Trump. Well, you're a piece of shit, motherfucking cocksucker. You're a racist, bigot piece of shit. Instead of saying, well, what is it about Trump that you support? Are there anything that you don't like about him? well, yeah, I don't like the way that he degrades women. I don't like the way that he doesn't have a filter, which I kind of do like the way that he doesn't have a filter, because you never guess what he's thinking. You always know exactly what he's thinking.
Yeah, I think people are uncomfortable with someone who's
100%.
upfront, and that's the thing. Like, it's better. Would you rather someone tell you that they're going to fucking bomb you than someone who's just like, behind closed doors saying, we're going to bomb this motherfucker and take everything?
We are so used to being fucked that it scares us when somebody's being truthful. Like, even in relationships, there's so many relationships where both parties are cheating on each other and both parties know, but they just stick it out because they don't want change. And that's what's happening with America. We know that the government's fucking us. They're killing our people. And when I mean our people, I mean American citizens. I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm thinking, and what I'm seeing, is we're the only country that makes you say what race you were or what ethnicity you were, and then American when you move here. I don't know anybody that's an American Italian or an American African or an American New Zealand, or a New Zealander or whatever. Have you ever heard of anything like that?
Here's the thing. This country is still in its infancy. We're going through growing pains. That's why the rest of the world's looking at us like, wow, how are they the superpower? It's just the way it is, when we're just growing, we're growing as humans, we're growing as people, trying to learn how to get along with everyone. This is a melting pot, but yeah, there are other countries that are also melting pots, and they seem to work things out.
Well, here's a question.
Some don't.
Here's a question for both of you. Do you think that we should change the national anthem?
Hell no. Never.
Why?
Oh, here you go with the why. I feel like the people who made it, who created it, were far more intelligent than the average person alive today.
It was a song.
Right.
It was one person.
Okay.
He was writing
Francis Scott Key.
It was a poem.
Okay.
You know,
See, I'm
It's a
uneducated.
three stanza poem written about a battle that was on a ship that he saw. That's all it is.
Awesome.
The reason why we need to change the national anthem is because it's sung in the wrong key. That's the only reason. If it was sung a half key lower, everybody could hit the notes. That's the real
try.
reason. That's the real reason to change the anthem. But no, that's it.
So
I still have trouble.
So you're saying no. You're saying yes.
Oh yeah, just to change the key. It's in the wrong key. It's sung in E. I think it's sung in C. That's why.
All right. See, I'm not musically educated, but here's my thought process on it. I believe that we should change it to show progression. When that song was written, this wasn't a multinational union. It was Europeans.
Aren't we trying to make the country great again?
Well, that's what I'm going to do in 2020 when I run for president. But what I mean by the changing the national anthem deal also is when it's talking about slaves and all that verse that was omitted.
Third verse.
I don't think he meant slaves as in slaves.
Yes, he did.
Well, he may have. This is my opinion on it. I believe that because it's different times. Like I've seen words change meaning over generations. Like I've seen it myself. So I know that the word slave has changed over generations. Just has to have.
We'll say
so I don't
servant
know.
Verse slave verse.
Yeah, I think that this is my opinion on the whole slave part. I believe that when he was talking about slaves, he was talking about the tyrants being under the tyrant rule of Britain and the British rule, and they were slaves to Britain, and they were running in flight and plight, trying to get away from British rule. That's what I believe the slave thing was worded on. But to be fair to the times that we're in now, or that we have been through, on hindsight 2020, people don't want to hear the word slave. It's just like the word bitch. Bitch is an actual term for a female dog. It's an actual English term that you could use. Like a 2-year-old could say it in school talking about a female dog and not get in trouble.
I got plenty of bitches.
Right? But nowadays, bitch is a derogatory word. So now a 2-year-old can't say it in school, or whatever can't say it in school because it's derogatory. So it's changed its meaning and its perception through society. That's what I think happened with that. So that's why we should change it there, because we need to. I think it should be America the Beautiful, or even another song that's
I dig
written.
it.
Something else that embraces the multicultural aspect of America.
Fat bottom girls.
There we go. That I could do that one.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, even Too Legit to Quit, that would be kick-ass. Americans were too legit to quit.
Or how about? Have you heard the one? What was it? Migos or Takeoff from Migos?
Bad Bougie?
He was creating his own. He actually redid the national anthem, and I'm like, wow, that is pretty good. I felt it was American to me.
I haven't really listened.
It was
to
pretty gangster though, but I'm like, wow.
Well, you know, why do we need words in a national anthem?
To everyone to please stand for the national anthem performed by Quavo.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna shut up for this one.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? The dawn is so early. What so proudly we invented the day. At the twilight last gleaming. Look at the ice on the stripes and bright stars. Through the perilous don't need to whip some ass. Or the rain, but we was so gallantly streaming.
But this isn't even like artistry. I can't dig this.
It's different. Hey, you said
You're over
progression.
shaking. You're over there shaking your head too, like.
Oh, that was shit.
Yeah, I was like, what happened to like?
No, but the kids like it. You know,
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Though. They
Kids
like
are stupid.
exactly,
Kids are stupid.
but they're stupid because of education and what they see on TV.
Well, if you, all right, kids need to be. Here we go. This is controversy. All right, kids need to be interested in school. How do you make school interesting? You make it fun.
Fuck.
So you walk into Quavo singing the fucking American
Fuck
the
Quavo.
national anthem.
You know, it doesn't need to be
I'm
fun.
gonna show up.
It doesn't need to be interesting. You need to know this fucking shit. So if you don't learn the rules to society, you don't get to play the fucking game. So if you don't learn the rules, it's like a test. Every fucking grade, you pass these basic common sense, human right, fucking economical tests. You got to learn how to balance a checkbook, write a resume. I didn't even know how to write a fucking resume, and I'm 30 years old. You know what I mean?
Sorry, Dodgers won.
Oh, kick
Hey,
it. Well, I
there
knew
you
they
go.
were. They're sweeping. You can hear it here first. They're sweeping the Houston Astros. They're going to sweep this series, guaranteed. They're too much talent. But anyway.
Go Red Sox.
But anyhow, so you got to teach them how to balance a checkbook, about civil laws. You know what you're allowed to do. Like everybody should know what to do during a traffic stop. Everybody should know what to do if you're being mugged. Things like that. Things that happen through life, you should be prepared for. As you get older and things change, you're updated. Like the computer systems. Okay. The computer systems are always progressing, are they not? You've always got to update your system, your browser for this. It's always got new technology. It's got this or that. Why don't we do that with life?
Why don't they do that with the education system?
That's what I mean. So instead of going in there and doing trigonometry, okay, if you got fucking Zach Morris over here that he's going to be a surfer and probably be a fucking weed grower when he grows up, and he's in high school now, you know, and he's all into that. You know he's not going to be an architect or a scientist. That should be a selective or an elective class, because you can elect to take it. Is that what it is? Or is it selective? Whatever. Selective or elective, whatever. Fucking, I'm not very good at grammar right now. But you should be able to pick the classes that you want to take. But there should be mandatory classes such as your civil rights, your human rights, what to do during traffic stops, how to balance a checkbook, how to do your resumes, how to go to a job interview. There's so many people that show up in a job interview like they're going out to the club, and then they don't get the job. Social media stuff. Like, if you can't spell, you shouldn't be making posts on social media for everybody to see.
Your
Well,
in your.
no, I mean, I'm a victim of your too. But when you're blatantly misspelling words, leaving letters out and shit, you shouldn't be fucking making posts if you don't know the English language. The punctuations and shit I can see, but if you're spelling like I went over and seen my kids and their house is awesome and it's THERE, you're a fucking moron.
People are getting lazy,
The abbreviations.
Just lazy.
LOL. I do LOL after almost every text, and I'm never laughing out loud. Ha ha ha. I'm never laughing when I'm ha ha ha. You know what I mean? Like, quit with the abbreviations. Quit dumbing shit down. Be an intelligent person. How are you going to go out and try to get a 6-figure income talking like a hillbilly or a gangster?
Really?
It doesn't happen that way. If you listen to 50 Cent, I've talked to 50 Cent. Not like we had down and had dinner or whatever, but I have a full-blown conversation or anything, but I've said sentences and I've conversed with 50 Cent. And he sounds and acts like an intelligent person. He doesn't act gangster and hood like he does on his music or whatever. Yeah. And then you've got
even Mike Tyson. That guy has a large vocabulary. I've listened to him. I'm like, wait. I mean, he just said, Custom Auto had him reading when he was like 12 years old or 14 years old, just reading every book in the library.
I mean, you have to be articulate about stuff. Like, just present yourself in a way that you would want somebody to present themselves. Like, going and meeting somebody's parents. I want to have a good impression. I'm going to go up to them like I want my children's boyfriend or girlfriend to come up to me. So if people would stop and quit worrying about selfishness is the biggest thing out here. People are selfish. They don't want to put any effort into anything, and they don't want change, and they don't want to have they don't want to stand out in the crowd. They want 100 people to be around, and then they stand up for the same thing, pumping their fists.
Yeah, that's that whole social media thing. It's getting gross. Where people look at their Instagram all day. I'll say I was a victim of it. I was just like, I'd post something like, wow, I'm not getting likes, man. It must suck,
Yeah.
But that's not up to them. That's up to me. What do I think it means,
Society is all about how many followers you have.
Yeah.
You're not popular unless you have a fuck ton of people on Instagram. Like with me, with my company, I do a lot of sponsoring for my CBD company. I sponsor a lot of MMA athletes and things, and I always look at their following. I don't care how good they are. How many followers do you have? So people want to get in front of everybody. Right. Everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to be famous.
Everybody wants to be the cool kid.
Yeah, I want to be famous. Like, I wouldn't be doing this show if I didn't want to be famous. Let's come on.
Yeah.
But I also want to be famous to make a change, because I'm actually scared of what's going on in the world right now, of how society is and how dumb people are. People have no fucking common sense anymore. Every video that I see with people talking shit to the police, I know my rights, videotaping them or carrying AR-15s down the street just to get a reaction from the police. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, stupidity is spreading. It's viral.
You deserve to have your fucking ass beat. People need to be held responsible for their actions, and that's not what's happening, because in the name of political correctness, we have to let people express themselves. Well, no, we don't, because I'm going to express myself, and then I'm going to get arrested for it. So that's bullshit. I don't understand how just because you see something differently, you can be outraged and be crazy about it and cry. But if I stand up for myself, now I'm being a bigot or a racist or a hater or whatever, or a Trump supporter or whatever. Like, I've never seen on TV when they're having these protests and they're wanting to get their, we just want people to listen to us. And then somebody comes in to have a conversation. All they want to do is scream at them and tell them to leave and get the fuck out of here and you're a racist and shout things. And, like, it makes my skin crawl when I see the take it down with the statues and shit. That big old fucking country fucker that had the Confederate flag on, and he was standing in front of the thing with the statue with the gun. Like, I love that part of it. Yeah. But then these idiots are just in his face screaming. Like, that's not a conversation You're not getting anything across to that. All you're doing is making yourself look like a fucking asshole.
Yeah, I think people are just so set in getting their way that they'll do anything now to get it, and they don't even know what they're fighting for. You know, a lot of people are just out there trying to get attention and say, "Hey, I'm doing this movement," and it's great to like have a cause and be proactive and do something. But you know, if you're just trying to be part of the crowd, you're wasting everyone's day.
Well, Zig commented on this national anthem thing here. He said the national anthem that is performed today and since the last 100 years doesn't mention slaves, and I do agree with you that the phrase in the original was that they were slaves under Britain. What people have done was put in their perception of that song, and I agree with that 100%. What really kills me is that not one person gave a shit until this Kaepernick decided to act up, and you can't watch a football game without seeing some asshole players acting like a bunch of Black Panthers with their fists in the air. That's the electro version you played. Oh, yeah, the electro version that we played sucked donkey dick. I agree with that 100%. So, I mean, I don't hate Kaepernick for doing the protest or whatever, because I believe that he did have good intentions and to bring awareness of an issue. It is an issue of police brutality, but it's not an issue of the cops not knowing what to do. It's the issue of the cops and the society of not knowing what to do. People want to talk about white privilege all the time. What about black privilege?
Yeah.
Do you believe in black privilege?
I do. I grew up. I mean, I grew up in Boston. Talking about, you know, it was pretty rough out there if you're black, but you do have some privileges. You know, I could have actually went to college for free, and I was really upset that I didn't.
Take advantage of that?
I didn't take advantage of it because it was tough. I'm multicultural. I'm half black, half white. And I just felt, that, all right, why should I get a scholarship just because of the color of my skin? And why can't a white person get the same scholarship? I just didn't take it because I just felt in between.
Well,
I should have.
Yeah,
Everyone's
you're an
like,
idiot.
"You're an idiot."
Yeah, you're an
bro.
idiot. You should.
I
Take
did get it. I did get a small scholarship.
That's what you call taking advantage of opportunities that are given to you.
Yeah.
That's an opportunity.
Born into.
Do you
opportunity.
believe in black privilege?
Yes. And I think black privilege is a thing, and I have no problem with it.
Oh.
I get to walk through crowds and people get out of my way because they're scared of me. It's okay.
It's
well,
okay.
Well, no, I mean that's more of a stereotype. What I'm talking about with black privilege.
Well, okay. Well, what are you saying in black privilege? Then?
With black privilege, subprime lending. Subprime lending was focused on the minorities to let some people that couldn't normally qualify for a home be able to afford a home. Affirmative action. That was a black privilege.
You got to think about why they're in place.
But yeah. Subprime lending was made for a bad reason. I think that's something that ruined a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
And the reason why you have the 20% down is to make sure you can afford it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I'm not going to say that's a black privilege thing because I don't see that the 12% of the population gain benefit out of it. I mean, most people, 13% of the population got a benefit out of it compared to how many people did lose their homes in the society. It wasn't 13%. It was a lot more than that when we had that crash.
Yeah, it was because people don't take responsibility. They take. It's just like the welfare system. Welfare should have been there for people that needed it. Now it's there. People are jumping on it. Well, I'll just have 3 or 4 more kids because I'll get $200 or $300. Like they know how to work the system now, and it's bullshit. There's no regulations on it. There should be a cap on it. There should be, instead of the government giving you money, the government should be able to assist you. Like, there should be no other employment agency but the fucking government.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Like, if the government can't find you a fucking job, we need to shut it down immediately. So, kill all the government or all the employment agencies, and the government, instead of giving away money, they pay you to go out and work. We've got road crews and highway crews and shit. You're telling me that half the people on welfare can't go out there and hold a fucking sign?
Hey.
Child care. You've got stay-at-home mothers. They're on welfare. The system's paying them. My wife makes $12 an hour. We pay our babysitter $15 an hour. My wife pays $3 a day or $3 an hour to work.
Yeah.
Just keep logging on to chaoticradio.com. Download the app. Get onto YouTube. Check us out Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Chaotic Radio. This is Franklin Benjamin with Being Frank with Franklin Benjamin.
Who more than selves? Yeah, country love. And mercy more than life.
Map out and plan out the shows from now on. We'll have different segments we talk about every 15 minutes.
That'd be cool.
I just didn't. I hadn't had time. I actually forgot about this show until this morning.
I think you just jumped into it.
I did. I just got here. I was like, fuck, dude. Yeah, I like him. But we need to, I need to redesign my hood. I want to put an image and focus it more. I'm going to slowly turn my car into a CBD car. All right. So just piece by piece, I just want to keep adding shit to it.
A lot of movement from the CBD.
Yeah, I'm starting to wholesale it a lot more. A lot more people are calling me about wholesale.